Hello, welcome to another episode of Vision Angling. Sorry about the noise of the cars. I've just popped down today to grab myself some bait. Literally, I've just quickly gone and dug some ragworm. So I'll just give you a quick look. Don't know how well you saw all of them in there. I've literally been digging for the ragworm now for about 15 minutes maximum. I've dug 4 little holes, that's it. Like I say, it's probably just over half a pound there, and that's absolutely perfect for all I need for tomorrow night. So, like I say, we're going to go and get ourselves some lugworm now, and yeah, I'm going to bring you along, let you have a little look at some digging. Cheers. We're quite lucky down here, to be honest, down this sort of pool. All of the lugworm now is, it used to be ragworm and you had a couple of spots for lug, but so much of Poole Harbour now is predominantly lugworm, it's a pain in the arse really for digging a decent amount of ragworm like we used to. But as you can probably see from the lug casts in the video there, they're everywhere. So it's not a case of you know, finding the cast and finding the hole and all of that lot. It's just finding the depth that the lug are at, because they are everywhere. As you can see behind me, let's just bring that down this way a little. You've got the buildings just over here. Normally I do quite a lot of my digging over that side, but because the ragworm is just in the corner here, and the problem is over there along the wall, people have absolutely smashed it digging, so it's an absolute nightmare. But yeah, like I say, there's so many casts around, it's not a case of, you know, if they're there, it's just getting down deep enough to get them. But yeah, I mean, worms, I mean, we've probably got about 60, 70 already, and I've been digging for probably 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna say you get some nice ones. Oh, you get some nice sort of size ones like that. You know, nice size worm really. They're not too big. When I'm going for my sole and flatfish and all of that lot, I don't like a really big lugworm. I find they're just a pain in the arse trying to put them on a size 2. It's just a nightmare. So yeah. But right, well, I'm going to crack on anyway. I'm going to do some more digging. That's probably enough for there. You've all had a good look. Hopefully you haven't stared at my arse for too long. And yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers. Hello. So after yesterday's little session digging, we've come down to the beach now. Myself, George and Shane is just up the other side of the groin. It's a little bit weedy out there, isn't it, George, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kicked up a big fuss. We've got a big southwesterly coming through at the moment. It's kicked the weed up quite horrendous around here at the moment, so hopefully it dies off later on in the tide. Get some fish out for you.
Yeah, we kind of tucked ourselves away a little bit, didn't we? But it's definitely more southerly than it was forecast originally. But yeah, we've had a few chucks. I've had a little pout out. I think Shane's had a couple of bass. Are you still on your big baits, or you want on the worm now?
I've got one big bait and I'm still on one worm bait, so.
One of the worm baits. Yeah.
I've got best one.
He's got a nice bite now, he's just going to run on. But yeah, let me say, I just sat here a minute ago, I just chucked out another worm bait. Popped out a bigger pop-up this time, because I've been getting little knocks and stuff on the pop-ups, but they've been finicky little bites. So I thought I would put a bigger pop-up on and stand a bit closer to my rod. And yeah, it was in the water for about 5 minutes. Lovely black bream. I say, I only went £1.5. Nice fat fish. Unfortunately, it was really deeply hooked, so this one will be coming home for me tea. Yeah, fingers crossed we get into a few more of these tonight. I say, round here, once the tide eases off a little bit, and you can sort of get the body of water next to the reefs and that lot, you do find you're getting quite a few of them. So yeah, fingers crossed, and we'll get back to you shortly.
Hi everyone, thought I'd just run back and show you. I had to run off just a minute ago for a bite. Turned out to be a nice little bass. Nothing massive, but welcome nonetheless. First bite, first fish, so hope there's more to come. Cheers. Hello everyone, just going to walk you through my rig choice and do a quick bait up with you. This is one of my pulley droppers that I'll be using for the ray fishing. It's about 3 foot long, rig body, bit of 40-pound amnesia, down to a 3.0 Sakuma Manta and a 3.0 Black Octopus from Tsunami is the pennel hook. Gemini components, quick link, swivels, some Rovex rubber beads, see them, down to Trident tackle Thermalink, and that's where my weight and my roto clip will sit. So we'll bait this up for you quick. On this one I've got a snake launce and a sliver of bluey on the side of that. So put the bottom hook about the length of your hook straight in the side, bring that on round so it pokes out just about at the bottom there, like that. And then what we do, bit of elastic, round and round, plenty around the eye of the hook, stop that hook turning, and then down at the bottom, the curve of the hook, stop that slipping as well. And then I just do a couple of turns up where your line sits on the bait, otherwise it's a bugger to try and get off. A couple more round the top of the hook there, snap that off, slide down your pennel hook, couple of turns, 1, 2, and then just nick it in the top the opposite way, pull that round, and then just pull the line, not too tight, otherwise your hook twists. And now we've got a nice big ray bait. Clip her up and send her out. Cheers. Hello everyone, it's just starting to get dark now. Tide's still coming in quite nicely. The weed has dropped off. Still sticking with the one worm rod, one big bait for the ray. Just tying up a bait actually, and looked up and my worm bait rod, nice pull round, rattly bite. I've got myself a nice little bream as well. You get him on the scales, I reckon he's probably about the same weight as Ben's, £1.5. Yeah, lovely little fish. Cheers.
Right, well, it's gone a little bit quiet at the minute, to be honest. I say we keep putting out the free clip down and stuff like that with the worm baits. Even my little soul rigs at the minute, it's just coming in 1, 2 little checkers. They're absolutely smashing every bait you're putting out there. We've had a few nice bream. I say biggest so far is only £1.5 I think it was. George had one at £1.4. We've had a couple a bit smaller. I mean the biggest bass was maybe £1.5. But yeah, it's quite quiet. Shane up there, he's had a nice ballon wrasse, and loads of little bass, but he hasn't quite got into the bream yet. But we've still got a little bit of tide left. I say my targets for tonight were a bream and a sole. I wound in a sole earlier on, come across the top, got in the weed, and there one there. Yeah. There's so much kelp at the minute on the shoreline. It's a nightmare when you get a slackline bite. By the time you've got to it, it's wrapped up in kelp and absolute chaos. But yeah, like I say, persevering as well with one rod at the minute with the ray bait. But you're putting them out and there's so many little fish out there, the rod's just constantly rattling. So the ray baits aren't lasting sort of 10 minutes. But yeah, like I say, fingers crossed we can get into the sole. So we've had the bream, now I want a sole to finish off the night. But yeah, cheers. So as I was saying, I just thought I'd give you a quick look. This one's been out there probably 5 minutes max. So just pulling them in all the time. That's on my 2-hook loop rig. You see it there. Got the Innova pop-ups on. I've got that on the top. See if I find the bottom snood. See what I'm dealing with. I mean, it's out there 5 minutes and it's just covered in weed. But on that one there, maybe you can see it there. Got the old booby beads on there. Make a nice good rattle. I've had quite a lot of the checkers on that. So yeah, there's plenty of them out there. It's just getting through them to try and find what we want. So I'll get this one baited up, get ready to chuck it back out, and hopefully there's something a little bit bigger.
Hi guys, fishing down at Hengistbury with Ben and George. It's been quite slow to start off with. We had some fish in daylight and it's been a bit difficult the last hour or so. A few straps have come on the feed, but we've got a good bit of tide now, just starting to ebb off. Sandy and squid produced a lovely little small-eyed, nice thick fish. So we're going to chuck him back, get some fresh baits out, hopefully.
Right, well we've just got the high tide now, and with the turn of the tide, it's a change of species that are annoying us now. Pulling in loads of bloody pout. I say this one's been on there quite a while. But ruined my rig. As you know, when you're winding the pout in, they always seem to spin around, and it's caught all 3 hooks and tangled itself. He's not got any life in him, so I'm going to chuck this one out for bait. Try for a nice undulate close in, and yeah, good size really to get him out there. So fingers crossed. Yeah, hopefully we can get into something a little bit better than the little pout and small little bass. It's getting a little bit tedious now, but it is what it is, you know. I say we've come to a sheltered beach. We're out the way of the wind. We drove past one of our sort of favourite marks on the way down here, and it was rough, full of kite surfers absolutely everywhere. So it would have just been a nightmare. So making the most of it, and yeah, I say fingers crossed we can get into something a bit better.
Hi everyone, Shane's just pulled in his nice little small-eyed. Say fishing's starting to pick up, a few straps and that. Worm bait's gone a bit quiet. I managed to find myself a little strap. And Ben's had one as well. Shane's had one. So put him back and see if we can't get some more fishing. Cheers.
Right, just had a nice bite on my ray rod there. Caught a little conger. Definitely not the species we are after, but it would do rather than the small little bass and pout that we've been getting. So yeah, lovely. Let's get that pout on there and see if we can get an undulate. Cheers.